Let's talk about this plane crash because it was extremely tragic, but I am also more taken back by the fact that someone survived it. This is crazy. This is crazy.
But first to the plane tragedy in India, where 241 people died. But one man aboard miraculously survived, seen right here, bloodied but alive.
He's just walking away perfectly fine. Like, what? How? How? This is something out of like a Final Destination movie or like Lost TV show. This kind of stuff does not happen. If a plane crashes and 240 plus people die, one person does not survive. That's impossible. Ghost 101 says it was a Boeing. Yes, it was a Boeing, but I believe it was the Boeing was it Dreamliner? It was one that had like a perfect record of flights. So that the plane itself typically wasn't the issue. But I think in this case, it actually was because they talk about the flaps were not functioning properly. So it couldn't get the air underneath it, but they'll talk about it.
It was after a Boeing 787. You see it there, crashed shortly after takeoff. You can see it right here quickly losing altitude, then falling into the horizon. And then the ball of fire billowing from the wreckage. The plane's tail wedged into a building. Other parts of the plane everywhere you look as first responders rush.
It's crazy how big planes really are. When you see like a person next to the tail of it, it's like, wow, that plane is massive.
To the scene in a cloud of chaos. Senior correspondent Tom Costello covers aviation for us, and he leads us off.
Caught on camera the moment Air India Flight 171 lifted off from Ahmedabad in western India, headed for London Gatwick Airport. But only 600 feet off the ground, it quickly lost altitude and crashed in a horrific ball of fire. Dark black smoke billowing from the nearby neighborhood. Video captured the immediate aftermath as firefighters rushed in. Overhead, this striking image, the plane's tail sticking out of the side of a building as rescue teams frantically searched for victims.
Very tragic and very, very horrific. And
yeah, Netflix, I heard that. I was going to say that if I don't remember if this newscast mentions it, but there was a Mayday shortly after takeoff. So yeah, they knew that there was something wrong. It wasn't like pilots just being like drunk or doing something stupid or DEI hires. Like these are experienced pilots with hundreds of thousands of hours combined between the co-pilot and pilot of flying. And they maydayed, meaning that there was a problem with the plane itself, not the pilots themselves.
Even till now, I have to say I'm in a state of shock.
Local authorities say the plane crashed into a medical college hostel just as students were eating lunch.
Could you imagine, by the way, being in the building and surviving it, but what that would feel like with a plane flying in, like a Boeing plane. I'm not talking about like a 2-person passenger plane. Like this is like a legit missile plane. Like that. Look at this explosion. Missiles don't do this.
Dozens injured, at least 5 thought to have died. Out of the 242 people on board the plane, the local police say only a single passenger was able to walk away. Viswash Kumar Ramesh, a British national sitting in exit row window seat 11A and traveling with a brother who is still missing.
Eric Kaya says, I heard the guy jumped out of the plane. There's no way. There's no way the guy would have jumped out of the plane. There was not enough time. There's not enough time to do that, to make that decision, to open the door, to be able to open the hatch. You can't. That in like a 20-second period for a random dude to do that? No, that's impossible. Bra says, did the steel beams melt? I was wondering how long until we got this question. There we go, True North. Is it big enough to destroy 2 towers? Or 3? Wasn't there another one nearby that just coincidentally fell?
Another brother in the UK spoke to Sky News.
He video called my dad. As he crashed, he said, our plane's crashed. All of that. I don't know where my brother is. I don't see any other passengers. I don't know how I'm alive, how I exited the plane.
On board, passengers from India, the UK, Portugal, and Canada. The first crash ever involving the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a plane with a stellar reputation and 1,100 in service worldwide. Already, veteran investigators are looking at this.
There you go. A stellar reputation and plenty of service worldwide. No issues with any of them. But they're gonna have to research, because if this could happen to one of them, that means it could happen to every single one of them, and that's scary as shit.
This video of the plane taking off and noticing that the flaps on the back of the wings do not appear to be extended.
Without flaps and slats extended, the wing cannot produce enough lift at low speeds.
The nose of the plane is pointed up, indicating a possible aerodynamic stall, and the landing gear remains down well past the point it should have been retracted.
Now, Death on a Trekkie says that guy should go buy a lotto ticket. I mean, I don't think he needs to. At this point, he can just write a book to explain his experience, and I'm sure people would be like, I want, or do a movie on it. Maybe not a movie, but a documentary to talk about the situation. Because damn. True North says, we don't talk about the position dancing as the towers collapsed.
Air India says the captain had 8,200 hours of flight experience, the first officer 1,100 hours. One of them radioed a mayday, but it's not clear who was piloting the plane.
This is a difficult day for all of us.
So they radioed the mayday. That means they knew there was a problem. Plenty of experience between the pilots. It's just, this is legit one of those situations where it's like, I hate to dumb it down to this, but it's like sometimes just shit just happens and it sucks. Everyone wants an excuse and a reason for it. It's like sometimes it's just something malfunctions and it just sucks.
At Air India, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, their families, and loved ones.
While Indian investigators will be in charge, British and American NTSB and FAA investigators will assist. Boeing says it is cooperating with the investigation. Of critical importance, the plane's flight data and cockpit voice recorders may provide the clues into what went wrong.
I couldn't imagine that there's enough time for anything recording anything for it to pick up anything to be like, oh, now we know exactly what's wrong. Maybe, but I hear this and I'm just like, they're probably trying to lift their landing gear. It's not working. They're trying to move the flaps and they're not working. And the pilot's probably like, shit, nothing's fucking working. And we can't move the plane up. It's not working. Like, what do we do? And then they crash. Like, I don't know how it's going to be helpful, but that one guy says, can't jump to conclusions with plane crashes. We'll get all the info and figure out what happened with time. It's the people who automatically jump to it's either being DEI or whatever else that are the issue. Now, I'd agree with that. 100% agree with that. Especially with a situation like this one. All the information being available right now, nothing strikes me as sus with it. It just strikes me as just a faulty part on a plane. And hopefully that gets addressed so it never, ever, ever, ever happens again.
And Tom Costello joins us now. Tom, tonight everyone is asking the same question. Are there any theories on why this one passenger survived?
Yeah, and it may be hard to know right now. This is where he was, seat 11A. This is the emergency exit, and this is business class. Was he catapulted out of the plane when it hit that building? We don't know, but experts say there is not one single seat that is always the safest because it depends where the plane impacts with the terrain, Tom.
Tom Costello leading us off tonight. Tom, we thank you. We thank you for watching. And remember,
I do wonder if the plane hits the building and it crushes like a can and the pressure pops the door off and pushes him out. And then the plane explodes behind him as he gets like rolling onto the ground. Like, damn, I don't know, but it is curious. I would love to see follow-up conversations with this guy to explain the situation, because I can't even fathom a situation where an entire plane explodes, everyone dies, but one dude just walks away with a little bit of blood on him. Like that's impossible. I mean, yeah, exactly. A 1 in a million chance, but technically it could happen. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what are the odds that planes, I was going to say planes crash so infrequently, but these days it's a little bit more frequent. But still, the odds of it happening, insane. Exactly. True North, Final Destination. It's crazy. Anyways, I'll leave that one there because, damn, that's crazy.